Hello, welcome everyone in this rainy day here in New York. It's the best weather for us to be here indoors to talk about suicide prevention. And this is the first suicide prevention, how Spiritism can help here in New York. Many of you, I think you've been in the previous one. Every year we have a suicide prevention workshop in Long Island. And this year we are having, usually it's 1 week before Thanksgiving in Long Island, and this year we are starting this new edition here in Brooklyn with young adults. So it's the difference that we have this year, and it's important for us to think about that, to really be able to talk about suicide, because it is a topic that usually people don't talk about. It's still seen as a taboo. And it's important for us to talk about that, because just some examples that I have some numbers here. All over the world, 800,000 suicides happen every year. That means one suicide in every 40 seconds. And only here in the US, it is the second leading cause of death among young people between 15 and 29 years old. That's why it's so important for us to have this event here and to have young adults here talking with us, sharing their experience with us. And not only about numbers, but the most important thing is for us to think about the examples that we have and the stories that we have. Only this past week, we have a WhatsApp group that we were making the last topics and organizing the event. And there were many people shared their stories or stories of people very close to them who committed suicide, or some cases or stories that they have from people very close to them. So if we see that, I can bet almost everybody here was affected, has been affected by someone very close who committed suicide or knows someone who committed suicide. That's why it's very important for us to be able to have this space, this opportunity here to talk about it. And just to explain a little bit about the event, we are having 4 lectures by Marina Story, João Zago, Sara Santos, and Emily Cornwell. We are having 2 lectures, a coffee break, then 2 more lectures, a Q&A. So during all the lectures and all the talks, if you have any questions and you'd like to write down the questions so we can use them during the Q&A in the last part of this meeting. And also, do we have the fraternal assistance here? Yeah. Also, another thing that we have is the fraternal assistance. So if anybody needs to talk to someone, we have people here who are having this fraternal assistance. For the ones who are not familiar with that, it's not a therapy, it's just a moment for us to talk, to have someone with whom we can share our emotions, our feelings, anything that is happening in our lives. And so by talking with them, they can give us some answers, some ways for us to think about those problems according to Spiritism. And so it's all based in the Spiritism. So if anybody wants to have this fraternal assistance, just talk to Dulce or to any other of our volunteers here, and so they can help us with that. And now, before we start, we are having Gabriel Corngold to read for us a passage from the book, Spiritist Prayers.
Hello, everybody. Happy Mother's Day. Act of submission and resignation. When something that causes pain or suffering happens to us, once we seek its cause, we often find that it is the result of our own imprudence, our improvidence, or an earlier action. In this case, we should only blame ourselves. If we took no part whatsoever in the cause of a misfortune, then it is either a test for our current life or an atonement for a past existence. In the latter case, the nature of the atonement can be indicative of the nature of the fault itself, since we are always punished within the scope of our wrongdoing. In whatever afflicts us, we generally see only the current evil and not the subsequent favorable outcomes that it may have. Good is often the result of a transient malady, since the healing of a patient is often the result of the painful means employed to obtain it. In any case, we must submit to the will of God, bear with courage all tribulations of life, if we want this to be taken into account, so that this saying by Jesus Christ is applied to us. Blessed are those who suffer.
So now we are going to our opening prayer. So I'd like to ask everybody to close our eyes, to elevate our thoughts. And we ask you, God, and our beloved Master Jesus, the permission to start this workshop and these talks here about suicide prevention. Thanking you for having this blessed opportunity to be here, to have all this help that we have from our guides, from all the mentors in the spirit realm, from our Mother Mary, and all their workers who are here with us. Please, God, allow this shower of light to be here within each one of us, inspiring us and helping us to be good workers, to be good instruments to you. And please, God, allow all this love that we have here in this room to be shared with everyone around us, everyone here in the city, here in this country. May every soul who is thinking about committing suicide to receive a helping hand, to receive your blessings, and to be able to open their eyes and minds to see this beautiful world that we have around us. Please, God, help us today and always, and so be it. And just one more thing, today is Mother's Day, so as we have all these young adults here with us, as Gabriel, who just read to us, we have Marina, we have Emily, we have João, and we have Sarah, and we have their mothers too. So thank you so much, Jussara, Dulce, Kirsten, and Angela, for allowing your kids to be here with us, sharing their experience in this beautiful moment with us. And now we are going to, just one moment, still dealing with the technology here, so. Just now we're going to have the U.S. national anthem for us to hear and to sing, so everybody feel welcome to join us.
Oh, say can you see?
Sing with us.
By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose red stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets with glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of death with victory and peace? and preserved us a nation. Then conquer we must when our cause it is just. And this we are mine. In God is our trust, and the star-spangled banner in triumph shall wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
So as we just saw, the suicide rate all over the world is very high, and so it is also a global issue, and one that society usually doesn't talk a lot, so that's why it's very important, as I said, for us to have this moment here. And every year here we are dedicating a moment in the beginning of the workshop to a different country whose population is affected by suicide. So this year we chose Brazil, a country that is very close to many of us here, and that is known by its happiness, its festivities, the good music, good food, soccer, and many other attributes. But it's also a country affected by suicide. Every year, 11,000 Brazilians take their own life. That means 31 persons every day. So we'd like to ask the mentors of Brazil, the messengers that work with Jesus, to envelop Brazil as its inhabitants with tons of love, peace, and light, sending these good and elevated vibrations to every person that committed suicide, to the ones that are thinking about that, and also to their family members and friends.